Hi there. So this is the second webinar for the Spring into Scavenge organisation. It's great to see that we have 6 events confirmed and 6 organisers around Australia and over in the UK. I've heard from most of you, or all of you, and have received all your letters of acceptance. So thank you for those. I've also received a few site registration forms, but I still need 3 more to come in from Ali, Jess and Olivia. For those of you that have seen, all your events are up on Facebook. So I have shared, if I've added you on Facebook, I've co-hosted the event or sent you the invitation to co-host, and you now have access to edit the description and to invite all the people in your community. And this will be the main avenue that you'll use to engage and promote the event. So you can put all the regular posts up on there that say, you know, what's going on in the day. You can ask for volunteers, you can ask for clothes, you can ask for anything through the event page. So that's yours to manage. If you have any trouble co-hosting, just get in touch. I've also sent you through all your posters, so they've been finalised by our graphic designer today. I hope you like them. I hope all the details are correct. So if you just want to have a look and then let me know that's all okay, that would be great. And then also similarly, you can use these posters to put them up around town or share them with businesses or any community groups that you're engaging with. It's a good way, it's a good document to send through. It has all the details and it looks professional. So it should provide you with some or receive some trust through any groups that you're reaching out to. For those of you that have decided that you need to submit an event permit, so this will be necessary if you're setting up any structures at the waterway that you're doing the cleanup at. That structures by the way of marquees primarily, any hazardous equipment like marquees that can blow requires an event permit by council. So you'll need to contact, as it says in the handbook, your local council events team and the sustainability team to try and submit an event permit and waiver the fee, as well as getting some bins. So you'll want to check that the location that you've selected either has public bins that you can dispose of rubbish or that you can get bins provided by the council. For those of you, most of you I've heard from about what Trash for Cash concept you're going to be adopting for the day, and most of you are going with the second-hand clothes, which is awesome because that's the crux of how we like to run the Scavenge. It does take a fair bit more time though, so there's just a few things that I wanted to start you thinking about. Where are you going to get all the clothes from? So if you're going out to the local community and asking for clothes or toys or books, who and how are you getting the message out there? Do you have a drop-off location for the goods? For example, when we organise our events, usually I'll team up with a community centre or a business or somewhere locally that's easy to park out the front of for people that are dropping stuff off. You'll want to be aware that sometimes you can end up with quite a lot of donations, and sometimes they're in poor quality or poor shape. So when you are disseminating information about the clothes drive or the donation drive, just be clear that you want high quality things. Specify that ripped, stained, holey clothes can't be accepted and that people need to find an alternative for those within the household. For things like board games or toys, ask that all the parts and pieces are there. For books, they need to have all the pages and not have torn pages or be stained and that sort of thing. By clarifying and saying that first up, you'll make the sorting process much easier on yourself. Should also say with getting clothing donated, you'll need to, well, ideally, you'll want to have a chance to sort it before the event as well. So you might have a window 3 days that it's open before the event, say Monday to Wednesday, and then you collect it from the location, and then you can then sort it on the Thursday or the Friday before the event, and just make sure that there's nothing of too bad quality. And just in case you haven't read the handbook, we can't sell any electrical goods at the Scavenge or provide any in the market. So anything like lamps or stuff with batteries, those sorts of things, our insurance doesn't cover that. So you just have to let people know that we can't do appliances. If you're struggling to find secondhand stuff, just use your network. You'll be surprised when you talk to your colleagues, or if you have any contacts within schools, you can easily reach out to them and ask them to donate secondhand goods. It shouldn't be a hassle getting stuff. It's more a hassle just sorting it all. With the market, it does require extra equipment, so you'll need to find some ways to hang the clothing. So you'll need some sort of structures. If you do want to build some pallet furniture, if you have access to free pallets, I've got a material guide on how to build upcycled racks, which are the same ones we use at the Scavenge. You can ask me for that, email me. Otherwise, you'll also need clothes hangers. So if you're near a department store like Target or Big W or any of those large department stores, they have a huge amount of hangers that they throw out regularly. So if you're able to get in there and get some, then that's a really good option. Otherwise, dry cleaners often do have some as well. Yeah, with clothing, it's easier if you sort it before and then have it all hung on hangers, and then you can just put it onto the racks on the morning of the event, rather than trying to hang everything at the event, because it can take quite a lot of time and quite a lot of hands. Great. If you have any other ways that you're doing the incentivizing around the trash tokens, then that sounds great as well. Just make sure that it's all zero waste and upcycled stuff. So no new brands of things can be included, unfortunately. We're just trying to keep in line with the messaging of reducing rather than amplifying our consumption. So we try and do that in everything, in all the avenues that we explore through the event. So just going on with the line of equipment, you'll need to start thinking about cleanup bags. If you've got any breweries nearby, you'll be able to get their grain sacks. They have ample. Otherwise, you can reach out to Clean Up Australia Day for a cleanup kit. Otherwise, you can just use material bags. A lot of people now have a lot of them, so you could ask for donations of those as well if you need. You'll probably need a couple of trestle tables for the day, so start asking around for those. Gloves, if you've got a Bunnings and you can reach out to them, they'll often support the event by donating gloves or anything that you need, such as tarps or tubs, which are necessary to sort the litter. So an email to Bunnings community support of your local area should be able to help you out on that front. And then if you're going with shade, marquees are harder to come by, but there are a lot of them around. So you can reach out to surf clubs. If you haven't already reached out to any local community groups, they often have them, or even council as well. Just be wary though, some parks, the marquees that are not allowed to be pegged. So you'll need to find ones, or you'll need to organise sandbags for those. And on the musician front, so hopefully all of you have got in mind organising at least one live musician to happen or to perform at the event. A way that I find musicians when I don't know any in any communities is going to Facebook and searching all the local pubs or restaurants and seeing what live musicians come through there. It's much easier just to get a solo artist and simplifies the equipment and also simplifies the event permit application. So with amplified sound, you will need to get an event permit if it's on Crown land, which is public space. And when you reach out to these musicians, obviously there's no funding from our end to pay the musicians, but you can offer to them that they can busk at the event, or if you're doing a fundraiser or something to raise money to run the Scavenge, then you might be able to allocate some of that to pay the musicians. Ideally, the musicians will have equipment that will make your life a lot easier. If they don't, or they don't want to use their equipment outside, you'll also be able to find in your community, hopefully, a music gear shop. You'll just need something simple and portable, like a PA with everything in it and a microphone and a stand. And obviously a power source. So ideally you'll be set up in a line with a business or something, or within a park that has power facilities, and then you'll be able to power it from that. Alternatively, there is the option of a generator, but obviously it's quite noisy and heavy and harder to come by. If you can't find musicians to fill up the whole of the the event, that's fine. Just make sure that you do have some speakers that you can have music playing throughout. You'll understand why on the day that the music is really something that creates a good energy at the event and provides the volunteers with, you know, a background beat to kind of keep working along to. Yeah, so I touched on other cleanup groups. If you haven't already, I would really suggest looking up any land care, bush care, boomerang bags, any local groups that are active in your community that are targeting waste and sustainability and conservation, because it would be great to have them involved. They have access to a whole new network that you may not have reached yet, and it's just great to be able to create collaborative efforts to address these issues because they have more groundwork to create change. If you're reaching out to businesses, there are those business templates in the handbook and on the online toolkit. You might be reaching out to businesses to get some prizes. So if you want to award people for the most litter or the most butts or the weirdest item, please try and go for just experiential prizes rather than material goods. So things like yoga vouchers, dive vouchers, massage vouchers, food vouchers at restaurants. If you're trying to get a business engaged to take the plastic-free pledge, which is trying to get them to avoid single-use plastic like straws or coffee cups or something in particular that's that you're finding a lot of on your beach, then that's another way to work with businesses. It's easier if you find the boss of the business, get their contact details and give them a call and run over with them what you're doing and whether they're interested in being involved. I found that going into in-store during business hours often isn't super fruitful because the person you want to talk to isn't there. So start with a call, identify whether there's any potential collaboration, and then follow it up with a meeting. Yeah, so I think that's all for now. The main three things that I wanted to touch on were the musicians, the market setup, and the basic equipment that you'll need. Just a reminder that you now have responsibility of the Facebook page and promoting the event with the poster. So you can start sending that to media outlets as well, and maybe even organizing an interview on your community radio station. And for those of you that haven't sent the site registration form through, please do. And if you could all please send me your PO box addresses, because I'll be sending out some branded t-shirts and the scales for you to measure the rubbish in the next few weeks so that you have them ready. Our next meeting or next webinar is going to go up on the 14th of August, which is a Wednesday evening at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. That will be the last webinar and the last opportunity to ask any questions. I'll be going over the run sheet of the day, so how to sort the litter, how to do the volunteer briefing, how to ensure the safety of your participants and volunteers, how to use the registration form, and then also the post-event reporting that you'll be required to do. So I hope that was useful. Please get in touch if you need. Otherwise, good luck.